if you had to give me like your top three regions, cities, team, your top three cities or regions, as far as talent pool is concerned, who would they be on the national level?
That's a loaded question.
I know it's a loaded. I know. All right. So all right. So let me
go ahead. I'm gonna see what you come back with. I'm gonna see what you come back with before I go to it.
let me let's say men and then women, as far as like a region is concerned.
All right. For men, I mean, when I say men, I'm gonna look at 8-man because that's the most popular style, in my opinion. Most teams in it. So with 8-man, number one area probably is going to be DMV area. They win most of the national titles. The only other national titles that was won by Chicago. So for my thing, I would say DMV is number one for men. Number two, I'm probably going to have to say Chicago just because I'm not going to say Chicago because we're not on that level, in my opinion. We may have a top team or top two teams, but outside of those teams, we don't really compete on that level yet. We haven't gotten there as such as other teams. I would probably say Atlanta might be number two for 8-man, and then I'll probably put Chicago after that because there's not really any other big areas. Now, if you go to 5s, you're going to have to throw Carolina in there because Carolina they go crazy on the non-contact styles, but on the contact styles, that's more of in my opinion, an up north, more of an up north thing, probably because it's colder and we play more contact football. Mm-hmm. Now, women's DMV hands down. I don't even have to question that. They won, and this is my guess, I'm going to say the last 10 national titles was from one league, not even one area, one league. So those same teams just keep winning. So I say DMV. Second place, I'm going to probably say Atlanta again. And I say Atlanta because they women teams are known to be strong and right there every time. They may not win every year, but they're right there competing. And right now, I'm gonna probably throw in maybe an up and coming Carolina area, like the North and South Carolinas, because they're starting to come around too and compete with the Chicago team. So Chicago and North Carolina is probably head to head on the women's side. It's probably about the third. It's, in my opinion, about the number 3 team, number 3 city on the list.
What do you say about when we talk about like the advantages of like the national game, right? Mm-hmm. How, and I'm speaking obviously us being based in Chicago, and I think you've done tremendous and made great strides into trying to make flag football a year-round thing for us with your indoor league now. With the indoor league, if you cut out COVID, shit, we probably played what 9 months out of 12, 9 months out of the year,
easily.
Like so, so what do you say about the disadvantage of Chicago teams going down to nationals because it's tough for us to play year round due to the weather? Obviously, we can't play outside, and in the fall and
I think and people gonna hate me because they do, as always. I think we use that as an excuse. Like, I get it. Yeah, we can't play like Florida plays. Florida plays every goddamn day because it's 70 degrees and warm. DMV, they get the same fucking weather we get. They team's good. They got the same. I actually want to say we may have better facilities than they have. They still practice. They still play. So it's a mindset. It's about a competition. You know, we don't want to get out there and, you know, when it's November and it's cold and you're getting ready for nationals, you're going to have to practice outside. That's what's beneficial for the team. Instead of taking the team indoors and playing in perfect conditions, you're not playing in perfect conditions at nationals. So stay outside where it's cold. You learn to play in the cold. It's only get better when you go to a warmer weather.
Mm-hmm. And you know that leads me to a question I have for you. Do you think that and I don't want to say a disadvantage, but do you think that do you think that we as a Chicago Flag Football League, as Chicago Flag Football athletes, and I'm gonna just say the league in general because let's be honest, you got the market in Chicago Flag Football. Do you think we as a league take national flag football serious enough to even compete consistently?
No. The reason we don't is I think our women take it more serious than when I say our women than our co-ed teams. And I say that because I don't, I'm not really with the 8-man contact world of Chicago, but I know it, but that's not my bread and butter. So I'm gonna only speak to what I know. And I feel like we should have two good teams in Chicago, great teams. I think we put ourselves against each other a lot, and it ends up hurting us in the long run. And I think one of our biggest disadvantages is that, like I said, that one league in DC that has all the teams that's great. You know why they're great? Because that same team plays together every single week for 2 full seasons. So when they get to nationals, they've already played, 12, 14 games with each other. We play 1 or 2 games, or if we played in the tournament, we don't travel enough. So a lot of our teams don't get to play those styles or play against healthy competition. So it puts us at a disadvantage.
I think that I definitely believe that the segregation in Chicago Flag makes it tough.
It does.
And I understand, I be understanding where people say that hey Patrick. I be understanding when people say that we have enough of a talent pool. We have enough of a talent pool to have multiple teams. But I think that'd be ego, to be honest. Because to me, you want to know what I compare going down to Nationals flag to? I compare it to being selected to play for the Olympic team in the NBA. Right?
Okay.
You have the best of the best. So you got the Melos, the KDs, and the Bronze, the Wades, and shit. But all because they might have been the man on their teams, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be the man on the Olympic team. You know what I mean? You might have to do a different role on the Olympic team. Like when Kobe was on the Olympic team, Kobe was like, you know what? I'll play, I'm going to do the defense thing. You know what I mean? Brown was the all-around guy. Melo ended up being the best player on the team on that redeemed team. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So you need different, even when you talk about the Olympic team this past year. KD was the guy, obviously. But Dame, who was a guy in his own right, he was more sort of facilitator and things of that nature. So I compare it to that type of thing where it's like, okay, you might be the man on grimy, stony, cartel, but on this national team, maybe we need you to rush. Or maybe we need you to do XYZ. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about that?
And I think that's built from the competition in the league. Honestly, I think over time the competition has gotten to the point that the great players think they're great by themselves, but they don't realize you need a role player. You need role players to be great as well. And I think that's where we're falling off at, is that we put these super teams together thinking about, oh, this is a great player, this is a great player, this is a great player, but how does that chemistry bond, or who's willing to take a back seat when necessary? Because everybody can't be the man. And like you said, ego gets in that way. And I don't think we need to subject ourselves to having less teams or blah, blah, blah. I just think we need to in order to compete,
strategically put together teams.
And we have to travel. Like, we don't go anywhere. Like I took my 5-man team 4 or 5 cities. That's probably the only travel that we did. But when we got to nationals, we were a little bit better prepared. Did we get our results that we wanted? No, but we were more prepared to come play that style. When you don't travel, you just go. You're going for a weekend to have fun. If you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. That's how I look at how we take nationals.
I feel like yeah, and I feel like, man, anybody will tell you, they'd be like, yo, like, you playing Nationals. I played down there one year. I'm gonna play. I think I'm gonna play way more this year. Like I'm gonna play because I'm gonna rock with a team, and I'm gonna play like nationally. Like I'm gonna play in a different, not the different formats, but in the different cities. I'm gonna do a lot of playing, especially with Baller TV, man. Baller TV gonna end up taking care of that. But I've been down there, and like when you get down there, to me, and maybe it's the athlete, maybe it's the OAU player. Like, you know, when you was a kid, you couldn't kick it like that anyway. When you traveled to play basketball, and you know, you Florida, Nebraska, and shit like that. So I feel like when you go down to the Nationals and you go to play on national level, no matter where it's at, like, bro, that's a business trip. Like, you ain't got the time to be doing all that kicking it, bro. Like, that's a long flight. That's a long flight back to the crib knowing you got your ass kicked.
It is. And I think
like,
that's
so why wouldn't you
mentality. I don't think people care enough. It doesn't mean enough to them. They're going to have a good time. And when you're going to have a good time,
I mean, that's cool, but don't play.
Right. I agree.
Like, go to kick it. Go for a vacation. Like, that shit not a vacation. You putting up bread, you know, you're paying your team fee, you're paying for flight and all that shit, man, bro.
Airbnb,
don't go down there to Airbnb and all that shit, hey, bro. Like, if you playing on somebody's team, like, go do it. What?